Greg Vaughn in the studio with our special guests as we had a vacation week last week. Actually, and we'll have a vacation week next week. Lehman Wall, Casey Hooper in the studio. How are y'all?
Morning, Craig.
How's it going?
Hey, we're going good. How are you?
I'm good.
I fell in a pothole coming in. Yeah, but look at me, thick as in. And when you have an earthly body like me, I guess you could eat all that pizza. Because there's so many potholes out there that Domino's would put Amarillo off the map.
Oh, yeah, we're off the air. We're talking about, if you are coming into town.
Be careful. Get your truck
for the WRCA Rodeo in November, be warned. The highway mess that you've seen the last 2 years is still going on. They did complete part of it. They opened up some bridges.
Good news is, though, that the Buchanan Street downtown is actually fully open. Llast year,
no,
they were doing well. No,
it's because they started putting the steel in on the ballpark.
Yep. So yeah, well, never mind. Never mind.
But I don't think it's as big a mess behind the Civic Center as it was last year. Last year was kind of a real mess back there behind the Civic Center. I remember.
You got people now going, "Oh my God, I gotta get there by Monday to get a parking spot."
It's not that bad. There's plenty of parking.
Yeah.
But they are building that ballpark, so that will be something. You guys are coming into town for championship.
Bring your dog groomer.
You just kind of want to plan ahead.
It'll look neat to those if you're coming in. If you haven't seen it,
it's going to look a lot different downtown whenever y'all come in.
It'll definitely look cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're down to we're gonna talk today about the Premier Ranch Rodeo, and this is the final four rodeos, right, between the Premier and the Earth Ranch Rodeo coming up this weekend. The Kansas Championship Rodeo, the 28th and 29th, and Coffeyville Interstate Fair and Ranch Rodeo in October, and then the finals.
Yes, sir.
So we're down to the final four, and this is like number 4 of the final four in Lufkin.
Yeah, it was a new rodeo for us.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, out there in East Texas. A gentleman by the name of Clay Wing was the producer, and nice indoor facility out there in that country. They actually, from what we hear, they had great attendance, so the people were excited to have us out in that park.
Good.
And we had 12 ranches that went out there and competed, and really appreciative to everybody that showed up and helped us make that first one a success.
Indoor. That's gonna quickly become a popular one, isn't it? And that's in East Texas where it's normally kind of humid down there. I think I read it was only 120 miles north of Houston. So the humidity and the heat and everything, and then so you got it indoor. Is that going to make it more popular for people wanting to get into, Casey?
Well, it's more popular for fat people like me. But we have, Alpine is indoors, covered arena. Kim, Colorado's a covered arena. Claremore's a covered arena. And then you have others that aren't. I think having an outdoor arena sometimes adds the aesthetic, or what's the word I'm looking for?
No, I know what you mean.
It kind of makes the cattle not as hot.
Yeah.
There's different ways. Cattle will handle different indoors. Heck, horses will handle different indoors opposed to outdoors. And so there's elements there. Oh, but I'm sure 150 degree with humidity, I'm sure you'd want to be inside.
Was it climate controlled inside or just covered?
Well, you would hope, or it'd be like in a big giant greenhouse.
Yeah.
Coffeyville, Kansas is still the hottest place I've ever been, and it's outdoors. So it just depends. But yeah, I guess that time of year, East Texas, never been there. I'm pretty sure they appreciated it. And
you guys, I guess, didn't get to go, but you had a board member go. That's pretty neat. Actually, there's somebody, I think, from the board or something at every one of these rodeos. Would that be right?
You bet. Yeah, we traveled to every single one, whether it's a staff member or a board member. And this one, we had our vice president, Mark Bukowski.
Right.
Was in attendance, went there and represented us and helped out. And so a lot of what we're going to get to talk about will just be, talking to the winning ranch, the captain, and passing along the stuff that we heard from Mark a little bit, tell the viewers kind of how it went. And this one was kind of not the norm when it came to score, right? For the winning ranch, is that you guys said it was? You guys said it was just, I forget the words you used when you walked in, but it wasn't normal. It was more closer to wonky. Yeah, well, as we've said over the shows that we've done, when you look at the score sheets and you start looking at times and scores and then you look at placings, you sometimes have weird things that happen. You know, some ranches just first and second throughout the whole deal. Others are middle of the pack throughout the whole deal. Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending on the particular rodeo, it can really be an interesting deal. And this is one of those where the winning ranch, they just were consistent across the board. Got point. They were the only ranch that got points in all 5 events.
Oh, wow.
But they weren't really, you know, kicking it in every one of them.
Yeah.
They won one event, and then they were kind of middle of the road throughout. We'll talk to the winner about that a little bit, but they were there. They got points in every event, and that's what really got them the win, Casey. I mean, what are you seeing?
Well, I'm seeing that usually the stray gathering is an event that is not an event usually where there's no times. Usually your no times, in my perspective, usually comes in the sorting. Cattle sticky, they stick together, they want to follow their sister out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, girls can't go to the bathroom by themselves kind of thing. But then when you see only two teams placed in the stray gathering and everybody else had a no time, that's interesting to me. Mm-hmm. You know, and so there's many factors that could play into that. And obviously we only have the statistical side, but, you know, who knows?
The whips weren't falling that day, I guess.
Or it's hard. It's hard. You will not see when you do your crossbone ties at the end when you tie them in the stray gathering. Ropes are kicked off. I have very seldom seen a steer yearling get up after being tied. So it had to be something with illegal head catches or who knows. But that's rodeo, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's how it goes in the rodeo shows.
That's right. Yeah. Kind of a really game of chance. There's only so much you can do in rodeo. I always get kind of a kick. You know, there's some sports where you can really control how you draft, how much you practice, how much you watch film, and or whatever it might be. And then there's sports like this where you have no control. It's more like poker. It's the luck of the draw. So.
It is the luck of the draw, and depending on what you get.
Yep.
And if it's that hot down there, like it was hot in Roaring Springs, and we couldn't get milk.
Right.
Well, I think now we went, and now stray gathering is the culprit in this mass murder. But that's okay.
Yeah, you're right, Casey. The sorting would be far more likely to have no times. Where was that? Hugo. We had that situation that the cattle were just giving everybody fits.
Yeah.
But it was fair across the board.
Yeah.
Everybody had to deal with it.
Everybody had the cattle. Yeah.
Stray gathering, I mean, you might get one give you more trouble than not, but usually if you are catching, you stand a chance to get your hands on one, and maybe the guys just didn't have it. I don't know.
Or there, and again, we're standing here talking about our perception. So no one call in and start sending me hate mail because I cannot rope better than you can.
Right.
So
that's not what this is.
This is not what it's about. So, let's get cash.
Get to the. Well, let's run through the first.
Run through. Yeah,
we haven't even told everybody we're sitting here talking about all
That's
this.
right.
I never told everybody what. So third place at the Premier Ranch Rodeo in Lufkin was Rockerbee Ranch. They're out of Barnhart, Texas, and second place was Thompson Ranch out of Mundy, Texas. The Thompson boys and Chad Williams, Colton Burnett. They actually are a qualified ranch.
Yeah, they're already. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, they what they win, Casey? Was that Alpine?
About 3.
They won Alpine.
Yeah. Yep.
The Big Bend Ranch Rodeo. So you'll see them in November. And then first place was Lochead Cattle Company and 7X Cattle Company. They house out of Terrell and Quitman, Texas. That's Cash Lochead is the captain, which we're going to talk to him here in a minute.
Right.
Crockett Crothers, Waylon Davis, Macaulay Morrow, and Chase Pope will be the cowboys you'll see in November at Championship. And before we get Cash on, just say another thank you to our presenting sponsor of our weekly awards, placings that we do for Sanctuary Rodeos, Titan Fuel Tanks.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see them at Championship with their products. So appreciate you following, supporting them. Maybe check them out when you come into town, see what their products are all about. Titan Fuel Tanks.
Cool. We'll get let's call Cash. Let's talk. And on the phone we've got him, Cash Lochead. Congratulations, man! Had a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Want me to jump in?
Yeah, go. Well, I know you got all the results
antagonize
over there. I
in
knew
case
you
you
got first in one thing though, and I don't think we even talked about what it was yet.
Well, yeah, Cash. When we talked last night before we got on, we didn't really get into the way that the rodeo plays out. And one of the things that we learned as we've done this all year, you look at times and scores and you kind of, we weren't there, so we're kind of making some conclusions, and we wanted to kind of get your insight. When we looked at it, you guys were the only ranch that got placing and points in all 5 events, so consistency comes into play. At least that's what it seems like. Talk us through, what you guys saw from your perspective as far as the way the rodeo played out.
Yes, sir. As y'all know, they're all different. One might not be like last week, it might not be like next week, but consistency did pay off in that rodeo because the stray gathering kind of fell apart and made everybody, put a distance between everybody. I think there was only 2 teams that got a time in the stray gathering.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys won that one, and then
Yes,
Rocker
sir.
B was the other ranch. What happened? What was going on in the stray gathering?
Oh, those cattle were just big, and I think they'd been roped quite a bit, and they were just kind of tricky and big, and several teams got them roped but couldn't get them tied down, and several got up after they had them tied down.
I think when you have a 3-loop limit and they're big yearlings and they come in and they're monsters like that, unlimited loop is what I would wish for. I mean, I know we're on the record and all that, but and I'm sure Clay had and cattle are hard to find, period. I don't care where you live right now. Cattle are difficult to find, but a little bit, Cash, you guys actually were closer to home this one, huh?
That's very surprising.
I know. We did it just for you,
Yeah, I bet you did.
Because I've been many miles with these guys the last couple of years, and they are never close to home. It's like me. Just keep a quarter in your wallet and hope that you don't run into trouble. But back to the rodeo. Sorry. I really think 3 limits per yearling on that makes it hard. And when you see somebody come out and they have a hard time, and then the next one you draw one soggy too, boy, it changes the game changer. It's.
But Casey, Cash, was this say it again? Was this a deal where guys weren't catching, or were they just were getting up on them, or having trouble getting them to the ground?
It was some of both. There was a lot of teams couldn't get them caught, and then there was a lot of teams did get them caught and couldn't get them down or couldn't get them tied. And then there was several teams that got them tied and couldn't get them to stay tied.
That's crazy, huh? You hardly ever see that, huh, Cash? On your crossbone,
Yes.
You hardly ever see them. So that means they were stout, strong, and full of corn. Kind of sounds like myself.
Another, and moving on.
It's okay.
Another event that you guys were top 5 in was the sorting, and that one can sometimes separate, the crowd a little bit. It looks like everybody. There were 0 no times in the sorting, which would be probably a little odd to have that swap. Like Casey said, you'd generally see more no times in sorting because cattle are leaking on you, or they're just kind of unruly. But sound like the sorting cattle must have treated everybody all right, Cash.
Yes, not taking anything away from Clay on the stray gathering cattle, but the sorting cattle were perfect. They were great. Like you said, nobody filled them or got one out of order. I'm sure y'all saw the times. Everyone was pretty dang fast on them. It got really tough in the sorting.
Well, that makes it fun. I mean, that when they're like that, and you've got a perfect pin, and everything's set evenly, that event is actually pretty fun. I mean, that is actually old school, like it's done at home, and come out pretty good. Just like in the milking, the times got quick too.
Branding too, Casey.
Yeah.
Branding. We're looking at branding. That's another one where sometimes you might, some guys maybe aren't catching their loops and they struggle a little bit here or there. But every ranch had a time in the branding, and for the most part, everybody was under a minute. It looked like the branding kind of was pretty solid competition too, Cash.
Yes, sir. It was pretty tough the whole way around. It was touch or go there for most of the rodeo. It wasn't like it was obvious if someone was running off with it or who was going to win it. No one really knew.
Well, that makes good clean fun right there, though. I mean, isn't that why we do it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather it be challenging every time the gate opens and someone goes in than it be like a walk in the park for these guys.
Well, there were 12 ranches that competed, and let me just do a little deal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 different ranches were first through third in different events. So, as what Cash was saying, you just really didn't know how it was going to shake out because so many ranches were in there getting points, and then here is the Lochead 7X that just was getting points in every event. Consistency. It's
consistency. You don't have to win every event, right, Cash? You just have to be consistent.
Right.
Name of the game. But when you meet these guys, that's a tough rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're looking at guys that can ride their broncs, you're looking at guys that can rope, and you're looking at guys that are mounted. And that combination, and you have fresh or really sticky cattle, there's your challenge. But if you got an even set of pins, it's winner takes all. Hats off to whoever wins the rodeo. So, good job, Cash.
Thank you very much, Dave.
You did it. You've been going and blowing all summer.
I know it.
You guys been
At least
going
I didn't
hard.
make the last one this year.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you're not the first team to say that. I mean, it's happened all the time, and we are just excited that you guys are coming to championship.
Yeah.
And when you get here, it starts all over. So it doesn't matter how you place, what happened. Doesn't matter if you lose your trailer going to Cimarron, if the ball breaks. Doesn't matter. It means that all that hard work starts over, clean slate, and good luck to y'all.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, if you need anything, let us know, okay?
Yes, sir, Lehman. Thank you.
You bet. See you, Cash.
Thanks, Cash.
Adios, Cash.
All right, so now with that one out of the way, three. I say out of the way. I don't mean it like that, but with that rodeo done behind us, thank you.
Stray gathering is over.
You got 3 more to go coming up this weekend. Earth. Now you got one in. You always want to say
We're
on
on
Earth.
Earth.
In Earth. In Earth.
Third rock
Texas.
from the sun. It even smells like cow poop. It's a great place.
Not too far away.
No.
And it's a 2-day rodeo, so.
Yeah, it is. It is Friday and Saturday night this weekend. Small little community down there, but man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
People come with their kids and hang out and kind of have a little reunion of sorts. If you actually are, looking for something to do.
God, you
good
sound
fun.
so bummed out about it.
What?
Come see us, darn it. Come to Earth. My goodness, come to Earth. Come to Earth, Lehman.
Okay, I'm going to Earth.
You're on Earth.
I'm going.
See
Are you going down there
Yeah.
both nights or?
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun, man. Go down there, and especially I know probably a lot of people from here probably won't make it down there for Friday, the 14th. But for Saturday,
I had a
go
guy
down there and
ask me,
enjoy.
At Roaring Springs, there's a place to stay in Earth. I said, well, I don't know what direction you're coming in from, but you've got Hereford you can stay in, which it's not far, and then like Plainview, you can stay there. Or I don't know the other areas, but
Yeah, not far from Lubbock, even, I guess.
Yeah.
Some in that.
it might be somewhere on a dot on the map, but this rodeo is going to prove its power because these guys are getting hungry.
Yeah.
And so to them, this is a big rodeo, and it is a big rodeo. And Rex does a daggum good job in his committee. And so let's see what happens, and the chips fall where they may, and get us another team to come to the World Championship.
Yeah, you're right too. And Lubbock's not far. Even Clovis isn't far if you're out that way. And actually, Clovis is closer than Amarillo. So, but it's just a go down there for Saturday. It's a fun little Saturday. A full family. Bring the family out and have a good time with some folks with who are just good people. So
You bet. Yeah.
it'll be good. World Championship Rodeo is coming up. It'll be here before you know it. Get on the WRCA.org. And everything is there on the front page now. It's been that way for a little while, but you can get your tickets. Right underneath that, you can book your hotel, and that's where your best hotel prices are.
Yes, sir.
Right under that is the whole schedule. And it kicks off really Wednesday evening with the kickoff celebration and introducing the teams and everything. And it's got the entire schedule there. And then as you go into that, you can find the entertainment and you can find out who all is going to be playing this year.
Yeah, our poets and musicians are listed out there.
And so it's all on that homepage now. It's covered up on the homepage with nothing but World Championship information for you. WRCA.org. So.
Ticket-wise, just to refresh everybody, Saturday's been sold out now for just about a month.
Yeah.
And Friday is going fast.
Yeah.
Limited numbers available on Friday. So if you have not got your tickets and you're wanting to to enjoy the festivities, start looking now and quickly. There's still Thursday, Sundays, but Friday's not going to last much longer.
No, yeah, that'll be the next one that goes.
Got to get out there and do that. Make sure you're going to the right spot.
Yeah.
If you're local, you can go out to Panhandle Tickets and do that, or call them at 378-3096. If you're looking for the link to buy them online, Craig, you always do a good job reminding everybody.
Yes.
Just go off of WRCA.org and click on that link.
Yeah.
If you go Googling, you're liable to Google off into some crazy land. And
you'll pay $250 a ticket or something for them, something crazy.
Yeah.
I've seen those more and more. That must be kind of a newer thing over the last couple of years, because I see it even more now. It doesn't really matter. You could search for Earth rodeo tickets, and it'll come up on some kind of thing where buy your Earth rodeo tickets in advance here for $82, and it's like, what?
There was a link that somebody sent me the other day that showed our rodeo tickets for $214 each.
You guys wish you could get that much for those
and
tickets. Huh? Boy, the money you could raise if you could sell them all $200 seats.
You can't stop it.
No, no. You can only try to warn people.
There's so many out there. Yeah. We just educate and just go to the right link. Make sure you're using the right link.
It happened to me really. I felt really bad last year. This older lady and her husband brought the receipt in and said, "My gosh, we paid $400 some ticket." And what do you do? You just, my gosh.
Yeah.
But
it is what it is. But don't use foreign links. But Earth is where it's at.
Yeah. There you go. I just Googled it just out of curiosity what I come up with. $137 of tickets from like this place that says it's cheap tickets.
Right.
Cheap tickets, of course, which grabs your eye. Ooh, cheap tickets. Maybe I can get them half price or something. You know what I mean? It's not. 137 is not half price.
Yeah, just watch out for those fake links out there.
Yeah, just go to WRCA.org. It's the easiest one. Matter of fact, if you just Google WRCA, it'll take you to WRCA.org. So
yeah, make sure you are on our website.
Yeah.
Don't get fooled.
That's right. This is 9/11. We'd be amiss if we didn't mention hats off and everything to our emergency personnel who out there and just the people and the veterans. It's just such a horrific event. And
so it's 17 years, right, Craig?
17 years now. Those kids that were born that year are juniors and seniors this year.
I literally remember where I was at.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys remember where you were at when that happened? And it was it's something that is very WRCA. There is a fit to this. Every year we honor the veterans. And, you see an older generation of warriors and people that have fought overseas and all that. And then you see pictures sent from some of our sponsors of their kids, like Marcy Fisher with PPT, Power Pipe and Tank. Her son is now in Okinawa, on the naval base. Mm-hmm. And you think now, okay, these generations are fighting for our country and our safety. That day in 9/11, it happened. But it has not been forgotten. And what those families and everyone are going through today, I mean, that's 17 years, but it just seems like yesterday to them.
No, I guarantee.
And so, we just have to remember that there's a reason why we are able to do the World Championship. There's a reason why we're able to sit in here and cut up and, get to talk to these guys and gals. But truly, thank you guys for everything. Thanks. It's great to be a United States citizen.
Yes, it is.
It's great to be an American, and Casey is like way off. I need to go burn some sage this morning. But it's no words for it.
Yeah.
We're just very lucky and fortunate to live in the country we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always try to say this time of year, we always say that, remember 9/11, but when you say that, just try to do exactly what you did. Remember that where you were.
Yes.
Remember how you didn't want to go in tall buildings. Remember how you wanted to pull your kids out of school. Remember
Right.
all the fear of going to, a public place for several weeks
Getting on an
afterwards.
airplane,
Remember it all. Yeah. Remember how security was before we had 9/11, how lax it was compared to nowadays.
Well,
just remember all of that.
Quick to point the finger and what people do wrong, but we're still here.
Yeah.
And those people that lost their family, and those firefighters and police and paramedics and EMTs and the civilians that risk their lives to save the people that are still alive with us that went through that. No one could understand the loss of that and what they're feeling. So just know we do.
It's
today.
a wonderful memorial. If you get a chance to go out there.
Never been.
It's we went last year, and they did a awesome job, and there's everything from obviously stories from the people and phone calls from people inside the planes to their loved ones to the history of the building itself. And so they just did a really, really neat job with that. And if anyone ever gets a chance, it'd be worth driving out there for 2 days to get out to New York City, spending a couple of nights, and then going to that museum and driving back home.
Yeah.
That would be worth your trip.
Just people that just remember those that helped us get through that day.
Yes. Yep.
And, all right.
All right, WRCA.org. Got the World Championship coming up in November. Get your tickets. Get online, WRCA.org. And even if you don't have tickets, I say this every year, there's a ton of stuff to do for free. The only thing that actually costs you any money is going to the rodeo. Go shopping, go look around, go talk to some of the people, go check out some of the. There's still a guy that makes hats that shows up. There's people who with leather making skills. It's kind of neat to go see them. The Clydesdales will be there. You got all this great live music and poetry going on.
Well, you got some major musicians coming in that are major in the sense of in our lifestyle.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I love it, too. I say this all the time. It's come my new phrase. I love that kind of music as a tourist. I'm like outside looking in, trying to I'm like a tourist, and I'm listening to,
it's totally raw.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
storytelling.
Yes,
best.
yeah.
And then you'll get to see Lehman and Craig, because they're
That's
superstars.
just a party in itself, Casey Hooper.
Yeah, I mean, there's a hidden tunnel that I go under in the Civic Center.
Well, that's to avoid your fan base and
I don't have a
the
that's to avoid the police.
paparazzi that come out, all the autograph signing that you have to do.
Oh, sure. That's exactly right.
I will miss you guys next week. I'll be on a cruise. I won't miss you too much.
So when Craig talks about this cruise, I think of that movie, The Titanic, and I don't know why I see
just for
him.
you, I'm going to get a picture out there.
Yes, yes.
Just don't fall off.
Yeah, I'll have somebody hold my belt.
Fall off.
Well, don't
Buddy, I
jump.
trust.
You're going to have to leap because that is.
We got a couple of radio shows to do.
You got a couple more left.
And you do not want us in here by ourselves.
If it was December, you guys would be okay with it,
I
right?
would actually love to come in by myself and see how many people I could really get ramped up, and all your bobbleheads would be gone.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you guys. Oh, Top Horse. We didn't mention. We forgot to mention.
Well, Casey got sentimental over
How did we miss Top Horse? Who is Top Horse down there? Who?
Yeah, a couple of individual prizes that we give out at Sanction Rodeo. So the Top Horse Award, sponsored by AQHA, American Quarter Horse Association, was a bay stud named Smart Docs that was ridden by Kevin Lawson off of Rocker B Ranch. And then the top hand was Tyler Thompson from the Thompson Ranch.
Whoa, Tyler!
Yeah, Tyler.
Come on, bud.
So thanks to Wrangler Jeans for supporting our Cowboys, and they give a free pair of jeans to Tyler.
Oh, cool.
Because God knows he needs jeans. Have you seen what he's
I
walking
know,
around in?
kind of straggler these days. Yeah, we help him out with his attire a little bit.
Gosh.
Yeah. So congrats to Kevin Lawson and Smart Docs with the AQHA Top Horse Award, and Tyler Thompson for being the Wrangler Ranch Cowboy of the Week.
Yeah, and if you see somebody from those places, tell them thanks. AQHA or Wrangler, or if you happen to know somebody from Wrangler, or send them an email. Tell them thanks. If you bump into somebody around here in Amarillo, you might bump into somebody that works at AQHA. Tell them thanks. Fuel tanks. Titan fuel tanks. Tell them thanks.
You got to have a Titan fuel tank to get through and fight like a Titan to get to AQHA because of the potholes.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time.
Adios. Adios. Adios.